Hi, my name is John, and this is Business Update. In this week's episode, we'll be talking about how a streaming giant, which is Netflix, has lost its edge in terms of how the competition has already almost caught up in their market dominance. But what does Netflix do in this scenario? Are they doing something, or are they just reacting with a given scenario? So we'll talk about that in a bit, and it's pretty remarkable. I myself is a subscriber to the platform, but if you were to look in my preferences here, let's just take a closer look. In terms of my preference, you can see here. So they have an original series, High Water, which I haven't seen shown. But you can see here in my preferences of what I've seen, what I'm watching, very few original Netflix series here, and maybe with the exception of the comedy series of Dave Chappelle, Jokoy here, and the TV series Crown, which I haven't finished. Uh, Many of the content that I do enjoy watching over is older films, TV series, comedy series, anime, and whatnot, and very far few in between wherein one would watch a Netflix original, which is I think a key factor if they want to retain the support of the many subscribers that they do have. And in my case, I think the one that I really enjoyed, an original, is Narcos. It is this one, where it portrays the rise and fall of the narcotics king in South America here, where Pablo Escobar and Cali Cartel and so forth. And actually, I don't know if it's an original one, but The Gentleman is an interesting film, but I don't think it's made by Netflix here. A TV series that I did enjoy is Big Timber, but again, it's far few in between in terms of consistent viewerships. And I haven't watched all of the Netflix content that they have offered. And even the most popular series that they have up to date is Stranger Things, which haven't concluded, so I haven't watched that as well. But I have watched is the Witcher series, which was led by Henry Cavill, which is very, I like the game, the story itself. So trying to encapsulate that in a live action series is very interesting here. But going back to the discussion here as to how come in the case of Netflix has lost its edge, and is it going to get worse and worse to the point that they'll become obsolete? I don't think so. There's still always room for improvement here before it becomes too late here. And the company has been in the business for more than 2 decades. So as you can see here, meaning they were the pioneers in terms of offering streaming services to a wider audience here, which is, I think they should have capitalized even more to create, not just collect a backlog of catalog of films and TV series, but creating original content that would, just like, transitioning for a TV network to a streaming services. Because at the end of the day, if you want viewers stay glued to your network, or in this case streaming services, you have to offer them something new every year, or in this case maybe every month or so. Produce different types of content that would cater to a wide audience. And if you don't do that, well, obviously, their interest will wane, and they would, cancel the subscription, or shift, even worse, shift to a different subscribers, or subscription, or even to a competitors, in particular here. So since going back into 2002, which is, at the time I was just only graduated, their subscription business has generated a lot of innovation here, and become making the blockbusters of those days become obsolete. But fast forward today, obviously their 220 million subscribers is still number one, but the competition, in this case Disney Plus, has already, closed the gap to just roughly around 50 to 60 70 million subscribers. And obviously, with the way Disney has been churning out new content every year, every season, it gets a lot of its attention here, whether it's in the United States or other parts of the world here. And It mentions here, as mentioned earlier this year, that Netflix announced its second quarter earnings that the company beat expectation, but in the critical area of subscriber growth, it's already declined by as much as 1 million subscribers. And what's worse, it's projected to lose even 2 million subscribers, which is not a good thing to happen. Which, on the opposite side, Disney has gained 40 million or 15 million subscribers in the last quarter alone. So you can see here, one is rising, the other one is slightly decreasing, but not to the point that Disney can just overtake it, because they're spending a lot of their money to be able to reach where Netflix is. But in this case, obviously Disney is a big conglomerate, a diversified company, whereas Netflix, they only rely on their core business, which is their streaming services, which even more critical that they make the right choices to be able to enable them stay afloat or be the market leader. Otherwise, if you get left behind, obviously once your subscribers leaves, they tend not to return, which is a difficult thing to do here. So if you look at their content now, what would it take for them to garner the retention of those loyal subscribers, or and even increase further? And I think, with the case of the what series was that? The Squid Game was another original that I think was very compelling, but it's not necessarily Netflix created it. They only bought that series from South Korea, which made them a ton of money because of its sudden rise and popularity. Now they're trying to make a sequel, and the key here is offering something new, diversifies, and nothing that is attached to identity politics, hidden agendas, and whatnots, trying to portray in the mass public. Because at the end of the day, if you're appealing to a small audience, you're going to piss off the majority of your audiences. And if you don't cater to the wider audience, well, eventually you lose out in terms of viewership, which at the end of the game, or at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what agendas you're trying to portray in your content. If audiences don't like it, they'll just tune it off or not watch your content here in general. But there's still time for Netflix to be able to recover that, because they just don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money on big celebrities in those big budgeted production. Maybe they can create necessarily made for TV films, in a sense, different from theatrical releases that obviously needs big budget. And obviously getting the story right is important. Getting the right directors, screenwriters, and even actors to play the role is critical. But getting just a big brand name known actor not necessarily mean it would get all the success that one would like to be. And not everyone can be Brad Pitt, or even Leonardo DiCaprio, or even Tom Cruise. And not every one of them can always churn out hit after hit after hit. So there's always an inherent risk if you just try to assume that your success of the film is attached to the actor here and disregarding everything else. So, and obviously tends to be more costly in the long run. So we'll see if Netflix does anything more innovative to be able to improve its standing position, which is very fragile, to say the least. And hopefully they can turn things around before it gets even worse here. Anyway, that's it for today. Come back again on Wednesday for more business update. As always, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed watching this content, or you can watch other contents related to business update, as well as topics about business in general. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.